Hello?
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 Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I had could configure my mic. I just installed the new Windows. Keenan had a nice surprise for me. He upgraded his computer and he gave me his motherboard.
Well, there you go.
So now my computer actually runs things properly and like it's amazing.
How about that?
Yeah, like I click on Chrome and it opens in like split second now instead of lagging and a lot of other problems. So it's been great.
That's
Just did that on the
wonderful.
weekend. Yeah. Um, so you might hear some noise in the background
That's fine.
because the child was just came back from the parents'
Well, that's okay.
holidays.
I have a story for you.
Ah, okay. I love stories. So what
This
now?
one is kind of messed up. So
Oh,
I was upstairs. Normally we start recording at 8. And
uh,
like it was what, like quarter after, 20 after.
yeah.
Um, so I was upstairs putting Jane to bed, and then I heard the dog go crazy. And
Oh,
then okay, fine. Usually means there's somebody at the door, but I didn't hear what was going on because we were all the way upstairs.
yeah.
And then so fine, put her to bed, came downstairs, and then Fanny goes, "Hey, do you want to hear something really scary?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Yeah, yeah, come on, I'll tell you." I was
She
like,
creep you out. Was that one of those
"Well, uh-huh.
that reminds me of the Dan Aykroyd thing at the beginning of what's it called? You want to
Nothing
see
but
something
trouble."
really scary? No, no. Twilight Zone the movie,
Oh yeah,
beginning of it.
no.
That was anyway. Go ahead.
And I expect her to tell me like some ghost thing, right? Because she likes to tell me about stuff that happened that's spooky, right?
Yes.
And she goes, early I heard the front door open. I was like, all right, weird, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, so I walked over to the top of the stairs. And I said, yeah. She goes, and the light was off. I was like, okay. She goes, I looked down and there was a man standing inside our house.
What?
Right? I was like, what the hell?
What?
And I
Where were
said,
you?
I was upstairs putting Jane to bed. This is like 20 minutes ago.
What?
Yeah. So there was a guy like inside our house.
Did he steal anything? Is it a real person?
And so Fanny said I turned the light on and it was Mike. And I was like, Mike, who's Mike? And there was a guy. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit weird.
What? Oh
Here's,
man, this is screwed up. Are you okay? Are you safe?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do I
Well,
have
and
to
that's
come
what I
over there?
said. And I said, like, are you like, tell me more about what happened because this is messed up, right?
At this point, do you know who Mike is?
No, at this point in the story, I was like, who's Mike? What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
And so there was a guy that used to live again, that used to live in like in the neighborhood where we are.
Oh man, this is a ghost story.
And this dude's just like inside our house at the just at the landing, like right in the front door, right?
Oh
And Fanny was like, uh, I think you're in the wrong house. And he was like, oh, uh, oh, all right. And they just turned around and left.
what?
And then Fanny
Was
was
he
like,
drunk?
well, no. And so it's weird because so she said that happened. And then that was when so the dog didn't bark that time. And so I was like, was that when the dog went crazy? And she was like, no, that was 15 minutes after that. I was like, what? She goes, 15 minutes later, he came back inside the house again.
What?
Right? And so she
What
went over
happened
to the
then?
door. He was like, why? She said, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, really? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And he turned around and left. And so she kind of like watched him go at the door and she was at the door, like checking out to see what he's doing. He's like walking back and forth and like going to different people's houses and going inside and stuff. And so again, dude hasn't lived here for a couple of years. And
What's
so,
his What's his deal? Like, where did what? How do you even know him?
well, it's kind of a different story. I'll get to that one in a second.
Oh,
But he used to live 2 doors down from us. And so maybe, and this is
oh, he didn't
total,
live in your house.
no, not in our house. He lived like a couple doors down from us.
Yeah.
And so maybe
How
just
old
from a
is
quick
he?
older. Now he's older, right? And
Oh,
and that's what I said. I said, "Well, how old is Mike now?" And she was like, "He looked really old, like way older than when he was living here." And so I wonder if he's got some memory stuff going on and that he somehow made it back here instead of where he's supposed to be.
Oh, maybe he's really sick.
Yeah, some kind of dementia thing. Something's
Could be
yeah.
anything.
So that sucks. I mean, and Fanny
Could be brain cancer. Could be something funny.
yeah. She said that she didn't feel that like it was any danger or anything like that, but I
Yeah.
would have freaked out hard.
Well,
So-
good thing you weren't down there.
Yeah.
Would have escalated it.
Yeah, for sure.
I probably would have.
Yeah. No, I would have ran upstairs and told Fanny that there's a guy in her house and she'd deal with it. So that must have been what happened. I don't know. And so we just said like, well, keep the door locked and whatever. I said like, did you ask him if he needs help? Like, you want to try to figure out what's going on? And she said that he was kind of like already off and out somewhere else. But I can't help but feel like, I don't know, you just leave that alone. And like the dude obviously needs help, right?
Oh. He doesn't live in the neighborhood anymore.
No. She
Yeah,
goes,
50.
so she was
Someone,
like, she said, do you need some help? And he said, and he said, no, thank you, baby. And like turned around and left.
wow. Yeah, I think obviously some.
Yeah. Now you said, how do we know Mike? How do we meet him?
Okay. Yeah.
We met Mike. I've never talked to him, but I know of him because when we first moved in, Mike was in his backyard and he was playing some music. And I guess he was,
Does that mean that?
I don't know. I'd have to ask. I wasn't there. This is a Fanny story. So he's just playing. I was knowing this dude probably, I don't know, some like, I don't know, rock music.
Wait, does
like
Mike exist, or has Fanny just been telling you about Mike?
No, I've seen him. It's if I'm gonna
Right.
guess music, I'd say like probably like the Eagles or something like this,
Sure.
So he's sitting in the backyard without a shirt on. He's just wearing shorts. It was in the summer, I guess. And then Fanny was outside cleaning up in the backyard or something, and he called over to her and said, "Hey, you want to come over for a drink?" And then she was like, she's like, "No."
I already know this guy's doing
Yeah. And so he was like asking her if she wanted to come for a drink, and I think I can't remember the details, but I'm pretty sure he like propositioned her for sex or something like this.
it. Oh, yeah.
Said something about how he likes Asians or something, and then
Probably drunk.
that was kind of the end of it.
Probably
We were
drunk
like,
most of the time. Yeah.
yeah. So we were like, okay, stay away from this dude, And that's our exposure to Mike, and that's all I know about Mike. And he was in our house twice tonight.
Oh my god, dude! Keep the door locked for the next little while.
That's what I told Fanny. I said, like, just make sure the door's locked. Like, and I don't think it's anything to be afraid of, but it's just,
Yeah. He might have some kind of like, I mean, either it's the alcoholism catching up to him, or he's drinking too much, or maybe it's a liver problem, and he's like been in and out of the hospital. And
but it's crazy that like he's back here though. I have no idea where he moved, but like, did he drive here? Because that's not good either. Then if he's like that out of it,
yeah.
so I don't know.
If I see him again, I would call the Popo.
Popo. I have a couple of stories, video game related stories from this weekend.
All right.
Both of them.
Well, how can we work your story that you just told into video games? Is there a good segue?
Hotline Miami.
Oh my god! Please God.
You can do this right now. I'm going to give you a tip. If you're living in Canada, I don't know if it's a US thing, but it definitely works in Canada. If you go to Costco.ca and you look up eShop cards or PSN cards or Xbox cards, they're selling them for a slight discount, like $2 off or something, right?
Mhm.
However, if you pay with MasterPass, do you know what MasterPass is? It's like it's a way to pay with using a credit card securely online, and it can be MasterCard or Visa, doesn't matter.
Are you shilling for them right now?
No. I'm giving you tips.
Are
Hot
they the show sponsor now?
No, hot tips. I wish that MasterCard sponsor a show. Yeah. So what they do is if you check out with MasterPass, you get $25 off 100.
Oh.
So I put in a $50 eShop card and I put in 3 $20 PSN cards for a total of $110 worth of digital credit.
Okay.
You got that? So then using MasterPass, knocked it down to $80.
Oh,
So I figure, I'm going to spend this money anyways. I may as well get $30 off of whatever it is. So you go, $110 credit for $80. You can go do it right now.
sweet.
I thought it was all right. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't.
So
Gotta save all that money so you can buy more VR games.
Yeah.
VR just
Oh,
took off
dude,
over the weekend, man.
We'll talk about VR for sure.
Yeah.
No, the other thing, and this is a big surprise. This is a huge thing.
Okay.
Don and I were talking yesterday about video games and about eShop, and I got a game that I bought off eShop that I'm into, and we'll talk about that later too.
Okay.
But I impulse bought Super Beat Sonic. You know this game? It's like a music game, but it was like
how do you spell it?
XONIC. Super Beat
XONIC. All right.
And it plays. I think
this is for Switch.
This is for Switch, yeah. And it was a pretty big game on Vita, and I think you can get it on PS4. And it had always been on my radar, but for whatever reason, I didn't pull the trigger. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it. And it's like $50, right? It's kind of expensive, but I was like, whatever, I'll give it a go. So I bought it. And I hope nobody at Nintendo is listening because this next part is a little shady.
Oh.
So I buy the game and I started up, and like instant regret before I even started playing it. I was like, oh no. It didn't feel right, And I started up.
Sorry.
What's it go? Were you talking? Was that your sneeze?
That was me sneezing and trying to warn you in advance and failing.
It sounded like you said, "What's it called?" I told you Super Beat Sonic. I started this shit up, and
I think it's Korean.
Sure. It looks like Aslo, and like the Animu thing was not doing it for me. And then it started. The music was shitty, and then I started playing like one song, and like 20 seconds into it, I was like, this is poison. Not into it at all.
Yeah.
So I felt ripped off because I'm out $50 for this piece of shit thing I don't want. Right.
Right.
So I go online.
How can I refund this? Right.
I search, how do I refund this? And on the website, it says no refunds, no matter what. Like you bought the wrong game, you did whatever. Like on Nintendo's help thing on their page, it says no refunds whatsoever. So I was like, oh man.
Wow.
Yeah. No matter what, no refunds. So I look around and I found a Reddit post where somebody said, you know what? Call and maybe they'll do it for you. Because they did it for me. They did it for, I can't remember what he said. Some game that he, for whatever reason, it was shit. Oh, it was NBA Playgrounds. Because it was running shitty at 720. And so he was like, no, I hate this game. So he called in and they refunded it. So I was like, well, maybe I'll give it a shot. So I called Nintendo. Do you know the customer service number?
No.
It's still the same as when I was a kid, eh?
Really? That's pretty sweet.
I remember calling that number when I saw it. I was like, that's the same number. I don't know.
Did you call that when you were a kid?
The game help one. I remember calling for a couple times.
I never did that. What games did you call for?
I remember calling for EVO.
Oh.
Because there was one part where you have to go off the side of the map, and like I remember being on the phone with a guy and he couldn't figure it out either. He's like, it should be that. It should be fine. I was like, oh, dude, there's nothing there, I didn't call very often, but now and again. So I called and I was like, look it, I just I bought this game, not into it. Is there anything you can do for me? And he said, look it, it's not something we advertise that often, but as a one-time deal, one time only, we'll refund you the money for this game.
Wow.
I got my money back.
Cool. So it's like you bought a Switch and we're going to give you a freebie.
So I guess if it happens, if you buy a game that you totally regret and it's, more than $4.
One time, yeah.
Yeah, he made it very clear. This is a one-time thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I appreciated that. I thought that was decent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shit game, right?
Nah, yeah, I was not impressed. If you're into, I know there's like a lot of fans into it. Did not do it for me.
Yeah, the interface looks weird. I have no idea what.
It didn't feel good at all.
Ads.
Not into it. So tell me about what you played. We played the same thing a couple times.
We played a few things. Yeah.
You want to do?
Well, let's.
Here. Want to save the two that I'm thinking of, and we'll do like
Yeah, and we'll talk about.
a discussion about. But
Yeah.
tell me
I
the
don't
other
think
stuff.
there's much left, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's 2 games though. That's not bad.
Okay. No, I mean, So I'm still. I think I talked about Teleglitch last week. I didn't play much since we talked last time, so that's on the back burner. Maybe I'll play that later. I started playing Grim Dawn because with the new computer, actually able to run it, and it runs perfect now. It feels like really interesting Diablo 2-ish type game, better graphics, and actually, I'm appreciating how much work they put into it. Like it's got pretty good ambient music. The writing on the quest is even interesting. Like the maps are fun to explore, and they're not like cookie cutter. You know what I mean? Like certain games like that, it's because it's not randomized. I found out later, like Diablo 2 was. So like the environments are crafted more than anything, which I'm really actually enjoying. So I've only played like maybe 4 hours of it or something, or 3 hours, but so far it would be fun to play together, like with another person. The class system seems pretty deep. Yeah, it's cool. I have another friend who's put a lot of time into it, and he was he mentioned that it was pretty sweet. And when it was on sale, I picked it up. There's an expansion that just came out that I haven't decided on whether I'm going to pick it up. If I put some more hours into it, I may pick it up. But it's just one of those things. I kind of want to get back into that zone of maybe, trying to find, make a build around the items you find and do that whole thing in a loot-based game, because it's been a little bit of time since I've had that kind of itch, and Destiny 2 certainly didn't scratch the loot build thing for me anyway.
We could do a whole episode on the shit that's happened in Destiny the past week.
Oh, well, you can do that, or just go to the Destiny Reddit and just look. It's just like,
it's
people are mad.
It's interesting though, because there's another Reddit called Destiny 2 instead of Destiny the game. And it's a lot more positive over there.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, interesting.
So if you hate Destiny and you want to talk about how Destiny sucks, you go to Destiny the game. And if you're into it, you go to Destiny 2.
That's what I actually kind of noticed that. It's funny that you mentioned that as well. Yeah. So yeah, I just go to Destiny Reddit, not Destiny 2. I don't know. We'll see if I'm even interested in buying the expansion at this point. But
yeah.
And if you guys do, I will. But
most of us have already bought it because we bought the stupid idiot, like all of them.
Yeah, true.
I'll play. You know what? I don't hate Destiny 2. I actually quite enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's just the end game is shit.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Because people are really like, I don't know if that's affecting what they're actually going to sell and stuff.
I think it will. I think it absolutely will.
It's really negative.
Yeah.
Like even the YouTube video for showing their thing. I think they reposted it because it was getting so many like thumbs down.
Oh yeah.
And then even on the repost, there's more thumbs down than thumbs up on that Osiris expansion. So,
that's not good.
They really need to even just increase the I don't know, they screwed up the multiplayer PvP so hard. It's like they needed to do 6v6, and even though I never played 6v6, it would be way more fun.
Dude, it's so good.
And it should have been 60 frames a second too. There's no excuse for it not being.
There was a reason. They gave a reason for why.
I bet it has to do with the single player or the PvE being tied to it or some shit.
In any case, I think it was a lot of fun in Destiny 1 rolling with 6 because you didn't travel around in a pack. Like you run all over the map being an idiot, getting on like 1v1s and 1v2s.
Yeah, you dynamically group up a little bit, but it's not the most optimal style, right?
It's not required to do anything. No. Yeah, it was. It was
plus
a lot
the
of
weapons were more swingy too, right?
Yeah, and I mean the same thing is like supers would spawn faster, so you're throwing supers all over.
So you could outplay more than one person.
The other big change is that in Destiny 2, when you pick up heavy, only one person gets it, right? But if you all crowded around the box and they pull it, then all of you get heavy. Oh. And so you're running around and everybody's shooting rocks at each other. Like it was just, it was a lot of fun. It was great.
Yeah.
Yes, it's boring and it sucks because the reason they changed it is esports, but who the fuck plays Destiny for esports? Like, nobody gives a shit.
Big one right now is whatever players Battlegrounds, whatever the hell it's called on PC,
Sure.
and that battle royale game.
Yeah. There's another one on console that's getting a lot of
Oh,
buzz too.
Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not interested in either of them.
I don't like. The only reason I would even consider the other one is because they added first person servers, because it was third person before. I just don't like the idea that, like, oh, you can see around a corner when your character can't, and then everyone's kind of like hidden but can see past things. I don't know. I don't like that kind of strategy.
I see.
So once they added that to the this is the what's it called, player unknown or whatever, it piqued my interest a little more. Oh, you have a Smartie? Smarties are 5 out of 5 today. You there?
Yeah.
This kid came home late,
So that's what you played?
That's pretty much what I played, Grim Dawn, and I was busy because Keenan, as I mentioned earlier, gave me essentially a computer upgrade. So I was busy doing that most of the weekend, and then testing out games I've already played to see how well they run, which is a lot of fun. Like Rocksmith, and we've kind of talked about Rocksmith in the past, and you were sort of kind of asking about it, and now I can actually play that like properly, and it's like isn't choppy when the notes scroll down, which really makes it. I mean, it's not as bad as, like, if that was happening in Beatmania, it would be unplayable. But Rocksmith, you're not always note reading as much as you are trying to learn the song, so it's not that bad. But still, it's just annoying, right? So I was learning some L'Arc-en-Ciel songs because there's a dude that's still on there putting out, like, as we speak, he's still working on L'Arc-en-Ciel songs.
Crazy.
Which is awesome.
Do the full catalog.
So there's like 30, 50, 30, 40 songs on there. It's crazy. Anyways,
I finished up with I finished Black. I didn't finish the game, but I finished with Black Flag.
Okay, yeah, you're playing that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was collecting a bunch of shit. Like, my plan was originally to get platinum, and then I just hit a point. Like, just one day I was playing, I was like, I'm done. I just turned it off, and I just don't want to play it anymore, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. How long did you end up playing it for?
A good amount. I'm very close to the end. I just don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair.
It's fun. You were talking about the whale hunting and shit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it 4 stars. This is good stuff. It just I had enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the reason why I'm not really interested in those games too much.
Sure.
I'm not into that doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, where I am. Yeah. I put not very much time into Jotun.
Oh yeah, I saw you logged into that, and then I looked again, and you were not playing it. So
yeah, it sucks.
Is that?
I didn't like it at all. It's I don't know. It's slow. It looks nice. Like, the animations are really, really clean.
Yeah.
It's just very uninteresting. There's really nothing to it.
Yeah, it's like that. It's sort of like a 2D version, 3/4 perspective of like Shadow of the Colossus, sort of, right? Ish. If you're fighting giant bosses and you've got the same weapons, and
I guess
the game's based around that.
I guess. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where, like,
I have it.
Yeah.
It was free or something at one point, right?
That's the only reason I had it too. I mean, but I was interested in it when I saw it. I'd be pissed if I paid money for it, because it's not my type of game. Which is funny because it is my type of game,
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. I also bought I bought Giga Wrecker. Giga Wrecker is Game Freak's newish PC game that came out earlier this year.
Who mentioned this?
Yeah, somebody did earlier too. I can't remember who
Don,
it was.
maybe?
Whether it was Don or Keenan. And I talked to Don about it, and he knew about it, so it probably was him. It's all right. I read all these reviews saying how the physics are kind of wonky, and for like a physics game, it sucks that the physics are not very good. But there was a bunch of reviews that were very positive, and so I was like, well, you know what, I'll probably be into it, and I bought it. It's all right. The physics are garbage. It's okay. I don't know. It's kind of, I like it more than Jotun, but not very much still. Um, again, we could get into why, but whatever, it's okay. Um, Don recommended a puzzle game for Switch called Iron Cast that's on sale right now.
Oh, is
Um,
this a three? Is a free
match
match?
three, yeah,
Yeah, I
and
know of this.
yeah, um, it's good. It's quite good.
Oh,
I like it quite a
it's on
lot.
PC as well. I thought.
It is available for PC, Switch, and PS4.
Yeah, this one. It's sort of got a roguelike kind of element to it too, doesn't it?
It's very much
Or
like
no?
Rogue Legacy,
FTL maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
where you do a run and then you get these like commendation marks, and then you can buy things from the store before you go in with your marks that make it easier next time you go in.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's got a bit of a meta progression.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
not
saw.
game breakingly
Right.
better,
No, that's
like
good.
very slight, but
Huh.
enough where
In
over
the
time you
actual
notice
moment
it.
to moment, like it's sort of like a combat system through three, like the match system, right?
Yeah, it's based on targeting. So what you do is you have I did Don talk about this on the show once?
No, I read about it. Like I know
Did
about
you?
this, but
Okay.
I was considering picking it up. But
So the idea is that you have a number of things that you're trying to do in the fight. So you
while you're talking about that, just pretend I'm here because I'm dying and I gotta go to the bathroom.
this guy. All right. So while you
I
shit,
re-
I'm going to talk about this game
yes,
because
yes.
you were interested in knowing how the mechanics
I'm
work, and
super
I'm going to
interested.
talk about it while you're not here.
Okay.
So there's I don't want to talk about it when he's not there. We're gonna here. I'll tell you a different story. Um. Actually, no. You know what? I'm just gonna cut this shit out after, maybe. Uh. This guy's got to have a shit. It's a shit. He just sent me a message that says, "Fuck." Did he just shit his pants? I want to see if he shit himself. Uh, this is what's the? I don't know what the timestamp is in this. Tim says that his ass hurts and he almost shit himself. And then he said not to narrate it. You there, bud?
right. I'm here. Sorry.
All right.
All right.
I didn't talk at all. I'm gonna cut it after. I started to, and I was like, "This is retarded."
Oh my god.
That's retarded. It's like taking a dick in the ass.
Yeah.
It's so fucking gay and retarded. I'm cutting it out. Yeah. Okay, starting now.
Okay.
Do you want to hear how this thing works or not really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 4. So what's the I can't remember the square game with the robots front mission.
Front mission, yeah.
Front mission 3 at least. All of them I think have like different body parts that you can aim at and shoot off, and it does that.
Yeah.
So it does that. They have shields and like their movement system and their left and right weapons. So you can target each of them, and then if you blow it off, then they can't use it anymore unless they fix it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which I really like, and they can do the same to you. And then so when you match them, what you're doing is you're filling up gauges for attacks and for healing and for coolant and for like shields or walking.
Oh, cool.
So you build them up, and then you use it. You can like use the things that you filled to boost whichever part you're trying to go on.
What does the walking do?
Dodge chance.
Oh, okay.
It's cool. It's really good. And I mean, you can equip different when you beat guys, you get like plans, and then you can build the plans to equip them on your mech when you keep going. So that's how kind of you get stronger as you play.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's really fun. I was pissed because yesterday I think I made it to the very end of the game. And then I had like 2 or 3 more hits to do on him, and I had him totally locked down. Like I blew off all of his parts.
Right.
And then in one turn, I could have played defensively, and I was like, whatever, I'll just kill him. And then he like healed up his like strong weapon and used it like 3 times in a row and killed me. Like it pissed me off.
Well, it's the last boss of roguelike. This is what happened.
Yeah. And it was my own fault. I shouldn't have played like I did, but
see, that's good. Like that's the mark of a good like roguelike, that if you don't feel like you just got screwed by RNG, but you realize, oh,
well, I also feel I got screwed by RNG,
sure, okay,
but I could have lived through it if I wasn't stupid.
Yeah. Right. Cool.
So I'd give it a go. It's I think it's
on sale right now. Must be.
It is, yeah.
It is half price, 55% off. Cool.
Yeah. So check that out. That's good. That's again, that game's called
Ironcast.
Ironcast. That's right. So Giga-Wrecker, Ironcast, and that's it, except for the 2 games that I want to talk about with you.
All right.
You want to do the high budget or the low budget?
Well, okay. Which one is which one? Shit. You know what? I should have. I could have pulled a video while I was playing and posted it on Facebook, and I should have, but I couldn't quite figure out how to do it. But some weird, wonky shit started happening to me when I was playing Monsters of the Deep, specifically with what's her face showing up to your door.
I hate her so much.
Yeah,
Cindy, she's the worst.
Yeah, but
actually,
okay.
Before you continue, I had some wonky like fish shit happen to me, and not in Monster of the Deep, but in Black Flag. I was running on a beach, and they have like these little events where like dolphins will pop out of the water sometimes, but it popped out of the beach, like it popped out of the sand.
Man,
that was good shit. I saved a video. Maybe I'll post it to the.
You gotta post that.
Page too.
Anytime you get a glitch in a game on a PS4 game, then you gotta
it's so
post
good.
it.
The best one I've ever seen was on what's the talkie game? You know, the one where everybody talks and there's the killer.
Yeah, Jason or Sean.
What is that game called?
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
When I was playing Heavy Rain, it bugged the fuck out so hard. So hard. Where they were having a conversation. There was like some guy and some girl were talking in this apartment, and the girl was standing at her mirror and talking at the mirror with the guy behind her.
Yeah.
That's where she was supposed to be. So what would happen is that she would be there when she was talking, but as soon as she stopped talking, she would like warp back in front of the guy. but not just disappear and show up. Like she'd like run really fast back to him. You know what I mean? And not just run, but like her skin would like all tear apart and shit. Like it was stretching to get there.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And that was in the demo. Like I didn't buy the game. Just in the demo, I was killing myself laughing.
How do you wait? So do you just hit the share button like after something cool happens?
You hold it down and then you have a couple options.
Oh, okay.
For video, I always hold it down and then I just hit it once to take a picture.
Okay, got it. Shoot, I should have done that. It'll probably happen again.
Sure.
But
so tell me about
Cindy shows up and I go to the door, and immediately the door opens and she's looking up at this bizarre angle, like with her chest out and like with her head like craned, like maybe I don't know, almost 90 degrees, and looking at like as if I was 10 feet tall.
That's awesome.
And I wasn't. I had my height set like a normal height. I couldn't. I tried resetting the camera, and she kept doing it. She would like sometimes look at me and then look up at this crazy angle.
That's
like,
awesome.
Oh man, it was weird. Yeah, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, Monster of the Deep. Overall, I mean, I didn't play that much of it yet. Maybe a couple hours, but we'll see. I mean, it seems a little half baked.
It's all right.
Like the fishing's relaxing. I like being in the environment, but the depth isn't. I don't really see a lot of depth at this point. It just feels like they literally took the fishing game from Final Fantasy 15 and like did nothing really
and made it shittier.
Is it really?
Oh yeah,
seems the same.
It's a little different. I mean, it's very similar, but it's just there's not a lot to this, right?
No.
Like it's okay, and I wonder whether it'll get better later because I think I'm ranked 2 for hunts. I just finished the one with the one after the one with Gladio.
Oh, okay. You're doing the regular story, not the hunts, or the hunts?
I'm doing both. Both. I've done all of them up to rank 2.
Okay.
But I have enough money to buy the best fishing rod in the game and the best reel, but I haven't bought anything because I don't know the difference between like the defense and attack.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Or like that you need, like, I don't get it. I don't get it doesn't feel like there's a mechanic other than just
move it left or right.
Like when you feel the rod pulling, you're not supposed to reel in.
I don't know.
Right. You'll break because that's how it works in the original game, right? I looked it up.
I don't think that's how it works in this one.
No, it doesn't seem like I've broken my line before, but I don't know how.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah. So like, I don't really.
And I'm not doing anything different. So every single fish is the same. You cast, you wait, and then you hook it, and then you start reeling, and then when it gets close to you, it'll jump out of the water.
Yeah.
And then after it jumps out of the water, that's when you have to go left or right. It'll give you arrows which way you pull it, and then you just pull it out of the water. And every experience has been exactly the same for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see if it does anything differently. If not,
can I ask how? So when you cast it,
do
you know if there's any bonus for like landing directly in the rings? So it gives you a couple of rings after you use the finder. It shows you where a good spot to toss is.
Yeah.
Like, do you get a bonus for hitting the mark, or if you go after it, like if you go past it and then reel into the circle, is that good enough?
No, I think you get a bonus for in the circle for sure.
For hitting it, and then
like trying to hit them directly, like if there's something like those stupid cactars, like I tried fishing those, but I can't get them. So
I'm gonna assume that you need a different bait for them.
Gloria bait, yeah.
And then, do you find is there a way to hook fish better? Because I find I don't know the mechanic. What am I supposed to do to get a fish to hook on?
Yeah, I don't know. There's some lures that are supposed to sink.
Yeah.
When it's not being reeled in, but I couldn't tell if it sank.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not waiting long enough.
Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to. Are you supposed to like, tick, 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 and try to move it to get it?
Yeah.
To attract them, or should you just wait?
Each fish I think is supposed to be different, but it seems too easy so far. And I caught like a 5-star fish.
Yeah.
Just doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is this supposed to be a rare fish? Like, it didn't seem very hard to catch.
Yeah.
I just like literally reeled it in. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it gets a little more complex later.
I agree.
Yeah.
How do you feel
with the different lures? Like, and the other thing I was going to say is sometimes you'll see fish at different depths, like on the sonar, but then as soon as you've already casted, unless you keep pressing sonar, you can't see them. So I can't tell if they're moving towards the bait. Like, I guess I could keep hitting it and see if but then you got to reel in with that hand. So you got to put the thing down.
But
By the time
usually what I'll do is like I'll hit the sonar and then I'll cast, and
yeah.
then I'll let go of the reel and then just hit sonar again. But I don't think it does anything.
I just want to see where the fish are, if they're coming towards the lure or not, like
But
individual fish.
can you see that?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I think I saw it.
Oh,
So I guess we'll see. I haven't read any reviews of the game
yeah.
because
And I don't want to yet either
no,
because I
me
want
neither.
to. I'm enjoying it. I don't want to make it sound
Yeah,
like I don't like it because I do enjoy it.
I mean,
And I
shit. I like searching for just a random shit for your house,
yeah.
like a banana peel, and I don't know, like a
Does it go in your house?
yeah. I have
Oh,
all
that's
that shit
cool.
everywhere,
That's cool.
and I like putting photos. Like, did you see the photo I posted on Facebook?
Yeah. On Facebook, no. You sent me one on PlayStation Network.
Oh, that was the photo, and that
Yeah.
photo's in my house, like sitting on the wall. Like
That's
I didn't
cool.
even do it on purpose. Like I didn't put it up there. I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if those photos are like scattered around, and then the game just did it. I was like, okay,
Mm.
like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Load times aren't so great.
Oh my god, the load times are so bad. And like you said,
Yeah,
the game feeling half baked, it totally does. It's great. You know, the one thing that I really love about it is like the atmosphere is amazing.
yeah, oh yeah,
Not even the fishing, but like walking between fish points is great.
hmm
You know, they'll have monsters like off the side of the path that
hmm
will like make sounds or react to you. There was one, I don't know if it meant anything, but there was some imp that was like throwing fireballs into the
yeah.
water.
I saw that. Saw that guy.
That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Like I like that stuff. I like that it's very atmospheric.
hmm
And VR doesn't hurt either, right?
Yeah. No, it's cool.
I'm into it. It's absolutely not worth the $50 I paid.
No.
but but I'm happy to play it. You
Yeah.
know, I'll take my time and you know when I have I find that time goes very, very quickly when I'm playing it though.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So I need a good chunk of time to put into it. And when you're busy, it doesn't always work,
No,
you know?
I know. That's why I haven't had much time to play it. Get back to it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, the other game that we played, also a
hmm
VR game, and
Yeah.
this completely off my radar. I had
Yeah.
not even heard of it.
I heard about it a week ago before I told you about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is a game called Rec Room. It is a game. It's a VR only game where you take on an avatar and then you play games in an online virtual reality space, and it
Oh.
is some funny, funny shit.
Yep. I want to play later.
It's pretty awesome. So you start up and you make your guy, change the hair, change the clothes, do whatever. And then I guess the hook is that you play games, and while you're playing, you unlock more clothes.
Yeah.
And
And
you can go.
and I like the initial presentation. Like you're in a dorm room, sort of like you're in your own little like room in a community center or some weird shit. And there's a coach that like everything's themed as the coach is telling you, how to play the game. There's little tutorials, and the room's set up really neat. And there's a mirror and random objects that are in the game. Sometimes there's stuff scattered around the room, so you can that glue guns in the room, and
There's shit everywhere in that game.
yeah, it's cool.
There's like things laying around you can do stuff with.
It's a sandbox, but with games that are cooperative that you can play, or actually versus two team.
Yeah, yeah. There's paintball. I thought it was strange to start the demo, like to start the game as kind of a tutorial thing to play that paddleball game because that paddleball game is shitty.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah, I played
Um,
against a guy and couldn't. Yeah,
yeah, it
it
was
wasn't good.
weird, but the paintball's a lot of fun. I
I had a
think
lot of fun at paintball. Oh
the
man.
the one that I had the absolute most fun playing was 3D charades though. I
Oh
was
yeah.
I was crying when we were playing that.
Oh,
when we were
I had
playing
to
that.
take my goggles off my VR helmet and then like wipe my face. I was crying so much. And when those French dudes joined, I was
Amazing,
even better.
amazing.
Randomly, a French. So me and Chris are playing this game in
Go yeah,
the
go
3D
back and explain
charades.
what the game is first.
Yeah. So okay, you join these lobbies like they're doors that are off of the community center. The community center is just a big area with a bunch of random shit in it. It feels like a community center, and you'll just get random people there, and they'll interact with you. And it feels really weird to interact with strangers in that space. Didn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Like you feel Like normally in these kind of games, you could feel more comfortable being a dick, but you don't really want to be a dick
Because you
because you
exist.
feel like
You're
you
there.
exist there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, there's little doors for the different like events, almost like Nintendo Land sort of
That's you
style
know
in a
what,
way.
dude? That's like a whole thing that we could talk about. Like that idea of existing in an online space and the difference that VR brings to it. Like it really, really is a different experience.
And
I don't know.
so and the other thing we should mention is like the interaction, like the wrist watch system is
Oh, it's
really
so
cool.
good.
So the way it works is that everyone has a wristwatch, and so if you turn your wrist up, it'll bring up like a interactable 3D screen that you use your other hand to interact with, like just with your finger, and you touch buttons on the screen to do things. So if you want to adjust the settings of the game, there's a settings thing. If you want to send messages to your friend, it literally brings up a keyboard, and you type on the keyboard with one hand to send messages to the other person.
So good.
And there's like a GIF camera you can use and we couldn't figure out how that worked, but you can use a video camera in the game to record GIFs or videos.
And
There's a
then
camera,
have them emailed to your email account.
yeah, and or there's a Polaroid camera you use and print out pictures, and you can throw the pictures of people, and then take pictures of you holding the Polaroid picture of someone else. You can see, yeah, it's just
You
so
can take selfies for your profile picture in your profile,
yeah,
but with other people in the picture.
yeah.
Like that one guy that we were playing with, there was a guy that we met up with that we played with for quite a bit, and we took a selfie. Like I took a selfie for my profile picture with those two in the background, and that's my profile picture in the game right now.
So good. And then like every so often you get these gifts that are sent to you and they just show up in front of you and they're like little unzippable boxes. Like that, those cardboard boxes that you tear away the little breakable thing. And then it'll be
Unzippable,
a
like able
whatever
to
that
be
looks.
zipped.
Yeah. And then
Like not unzippable, like you can't unzip them.
oh no, yeah, like zip, yeah. And then you open it up and it'll be a piece of clothing and you grab a piece of clothing and you just put it on you. You just literally like put it near your head and it'll
Put it on
and
your body.
yeah, and did you know this? If you put your hand in front of your mouth, you can mute yourself. So if you want to talk to someone in the room, that's apparently how you do it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, back to 3D charades. I think the second game we played is 3D charades, and like it'll just randomly assign everyone to the team. It gives you like a few seconds, and everyone starts, and then you're standing on with a podium in front of you, which is hilarious because you can adjust the height of it for no reason at all. And then you randomly get warped into the front of everybody where there's a little like a 3D glue gun, and this glue gun you pick it up, and basically you can draw objects in 3D in midair with it. So you pick up a card with your one hand and read it's just a charade, so it'll be a name, and then you try and draw out the object, and you can even act with it, right? So like, I tried to do a crutch, so I made a crutch in the air and grabbed it and put it under my arm and tried to hobble around with it. Like, you can I think you attach the stuff to your face, like I did that too. Like you take an object and put it in your face, it'll get stuck, so you can stick it onto your body and act with it. Like it's wild. Like
It's nutty. It's super nutty.
it's so fun. I mean, the caveat is that you get randoms in there sometimes, and we had, I don't know, we were
and we'll talk about
watching 10-year-olds.
I got something to say about that, but
Yeah,
like I think it's like that scene is so good. Like standing on the stage with 7 other people facing you on their podiums.
Yeah.
And like having a little table on your left. And again, it's not that like there's a literal table, like a virtual table that I look down at and reach towards. Like that's the part that's blowing my mind with this. And there's there's the box full of the cards,
yeah,
with what you have to act out, and then the button that you hit if somebody guesses it correctly.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and it was funny because I was watching you up there, and you'd be just like, you grab a card and you'd be like, nope, and you toss it and fling it across the room.
Yeah, you can drop the card, or you can throw it at the people at the podium. Like it's hilarious. It's so funny. Like we had people doing like. And I wasn't totally innocent for this either, but just somebody said something, you're like, whatever, and just hit the okay, well, yeah, we got it, even though you did.
Yeah,
there's not really rules for it. It's just, just play the game, right? Like
the amount of 3D dicks people were drawing at the beginning, because a lot of people you could tell were just people who just like literally started playing it like we did, because it was literally the day it came out, and so it's just everyone's drawing 3D dicks. Or whatever else,
Naturally.
Yeah, naturally. You gotta explore the limits of it, but it's pretty good. And I really like the laser tag. That felt really cool, like you crouching behind walls and popping out, and
Well,
oh,
and the part that was crazy for that I felt was my character's body is physically behind the wall.
mhm,
But when I pop my head out like to the side to look and see where the guy is,
mm,
that makes my head vulnerable.
yes,
Like I'm popping out to the side and that
yeah,
that motion is affecting the like that's
oh,
crazy to me because
laser,
that's not how video games work, right?
no, no, it's awesome.
Like there
Yeah,
was a that quest game where you get like a sword or a bow or like a shield or some magic thing,
mhm,
and you have to go on a quest and you have to kill goblins and bats and whatever else.
yeah,
And I had such a hard time wrapping my head around what where my body is. Like it's not just a
no,
a hitbox. Like the hitbox changes when I move my head to the side.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You
It's
can
so
literally dodge
difficult to wrap my
things.
head around. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It took me a while. Like I still wasn't quite. And when we were playing paintball, I totally wasn't realizing that at all. I was just playing it like more of a, aim and shoot type thing.
Right.
Like I wasn't trying to
Right.
dodge, but you could. I mean, it wouldn't work as well because it was a more hit scan type thing. So you're shooting and it hits
Right.
partially. I think you could dodge a little bit depending on the weapon, but yeah. Um, what else did we do? And there was a lot of little sandboxy stuff in there. Like the custom rooms were cool. You left and I was goofing around in there, and you can spawn any object in those rooms
That's
from the
cool.
little machine. So you can get any gun, anything. You can set custom rules. You can basically make a sandbox in that room for a group of people. You could play cards. There's like card tables, like open mic. You were doing the open mic thing.
That
Like
was
that
hilarious.
was really funny, where you can hear Chris's voice. I could hear Chris's voice come from the speakers in the room.
But it's like amplified, so it sounds
Amplified,
like a mic, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I'm looking forward to considering that's a beta. That's
Now is that going to be a game? Is it like a free to play thing, or is it
I
something
don't
that you're
know.
gonna have to buy?
I don't know. See, I think it might be free to play with like maybe cosmetic stuff.
It's
Because
fun.
they're going for the customize your room and visit your room. Like that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That right? Like make customize your own room with stuff and like maybe get trophies and put them in your room or different things you win while you're playing. Like they could do events. They could do like weekly events and oh, there's so much they could do with that.
Well, and there already is like dailies and weeklies in terms of like
Mhm.
play this game how many times, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's good. It's
The
real good.
standouts were the 3D charades and the laser tag and the quest games. Soccer wasn't so great.
No, what was
Golf,
it? Shield soccer.
yeah, golf was
Disc golf was
all
amazing. I really liked it.
right. I couldn't get a hang of it. That was
Yeah,
pretty bad.
I really liked it.
The
So
amount of
yeah,
times I got turned around in that game, though, in real life, I didn't realize I was getting thrown
this was
around.
one of the only games where that happened to me too,
Yeah,
where I would just all of a sudden it would start reacting funny,
yeah,
or it wouldn't work the way I wanted it to work, and
yeah.
then I'd kind of pop my visor up and I'm facing like three quarters backwards.
Yes,
It's it was a lot of fun.
yeah.
The only thing though, so that first time when we were playing and that what something monkey guy was following us around,
Oh yeah, right.
and we were all talking because again it's because you have your headset and you got your mic and stuff, like everybody's just talking, right?
Yeah,
Like there's no typing, it's you talk, you're in that
or gesturing.
talking or gesturing, right? But not with preset, well also with preset, but also just gesturing with your hand or your body, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I had a lot of fun playing with that guy and a lot of fun playing with the French dudes because there was a couple of French guys came into the game. We're like trying to speak French with them and just messing around. That was a lot of fun.
yeah,
And then the second night when we got on, we got into a room with like 10-year-olds and like instantly my interest went to zero. I was like,
yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
don't play this
Their
anymore.
volume was really loud. Like I don't know what happened the second day. There was a lot of people who were way louder,
Yeah.
and I couldn't figure out like why that was the case, why their mics were so loud. And
I was thinking about it. How do you build a space that is adults only? I don't want to ever play with 10-year-olds ever.
yeah, no, there are rooms you can join. Like,
But what's stopping 10-year-olds from joining those rooms too?
I mean, it depends which community. Like, I think probably if it depends on which forums you're into, like that, you might have better luck by joining.
We should try the
Right.
9 gag community next time.
Yeah, I think we were in the 9 gag community.
Maybe Minecraft servers community.
But
I just yeah.
what I really want to see in that, and I don't know if they can do it, but holy God, it would be amazing. queuable YouTube videos, please God.
I was thinking
In a
the same
movie
thing.
theater.
And we even said when we were playing, it feels so much like Gary's Mod.
Gary's Mod, like the yeah. And there's another type of game that's I think in beta right now for Steam. It's called Tower or something. And I think they might be making it work in VR. I think it might be even a similar thing, but it's even more like it's more slightly more adulty.
Mhm.
And there's like a casino there. Tower Unite. It has mini golf. It has a bunch of stuff. And is it VR? Because if that ever comes, like that's more Gary's Mod because it's a little more freeform and
VR is the future,
people
dude.
can customize their own room and stuff in that. But does it have VR? No, I don't think it does, which is pretty sad. But it feels like
You know what's so funny? Imagine like when we started this
here.
podcast.
I'll send
Yeah.
you the link to this, and you can look
Yeah,
at it. And
yeah.
you tell me what. Imagine if the game was more like this. Just scroll down to some of those pictures, and you tell me what you think of that.
You tell me a year ago when we started this podcast.
Yes.
You tell me if you ever thought that this would turn into like a VR love-in. That
No, I
we would
never.
talk about VR all the
Never,
time.
never.
That we say VR is the best. These pictures look amazing.
Yes, right.
I will die if this like actually gets on to.
Please God, like we got to post the link to this in the actually,
But
even
this-
though none of us
this is-
played this.
This is such a PC game though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, there's no way this is coming to.
I know, but hopefully this
When I-
becomes VR.
When I see this shit though, this.
We're gonna post the link to this in the show notes.
Yeah,
too.
make sure you check this out because this is
Demon room.
pretty incredible. You're gonna want to check this out.
Yes. So, but yeah, hopefully this turns into a little bit more of a customizable thing. Will be cool.
Hey, you know what this reminds me of? What's that Sonic game that we played?
Sonic game?
Yeah,
Oh,
remember-
yeah. Right. Sonic something. What? Yeah, it's that
Sonic Dreams.
Sonic Dreams. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
If you have not played Sonic Dreams, you gotta play this. And that was multiplayer, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe.
Or no. I was playing it and you were like, I was streaming it. You were watching me and we
I
were
was
just
watching.
chatting.
That's right.
Holy shoot. Make sure you play Sonic Dreams if you haven't. There's another good topic for another show that we'll never talk about is like games in that vein, like Sonic Dreams or House of a Thousand Snakes or Tower Unite, I guess.
Yeah. Like I really want to play this now, except like if now that I've tried VR, I'll just be sad it's not in VR if I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
though it looks way better than even Rec Room looks.
Yep.
But it just
VR is, I want every game in VR now.
Well, it's you know what? They sold tons this last week. So we're gonna see a shift in development. So I'm excited actually. We'll see what we get down the pipe. You looking at those?
The Jeb Bush. Let's go.
Yeah, up to the Jeb Bush room. I like the anime room too.
There's an Animorphs cover where there's like a half cross-eyed Jeb Bush picture changing into like a stone pot. The $100 million cock.
We could just do a whole. Oh my god! You know, this is something else.
Yeah.
This is like the evolution of Gary's Mod. That thing we played. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
It's only $15, so maybe maybe I will get it. I just even know it looks too fun.
I'd do it. I'd play
Explore
this.
this later.
Yeah, you want to do this? It's early access though.
I know, but look at it.
Maybe it's more fun in early access.
Exactly right. Oh, there's a friggin' picture of the president of Nintendo.
Now I'm pissed off that I bought Giga Record because I could have spent my money on this.
Yeah.
Planet Unite.
Tower Unite.
Oh, Tower. Better name than mine. $11.89. It's on sale right now.
Oh, we gotta get that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. At the very least, we'll have something to talk about. We'll talk about it after the show. We'll
Okay.
see. It's got mini golf.
I got it on my Steam's open and ready to purchase.
I've got that too.
All right. I guess that's kind of it for this week. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so. Play more
Yeah.
games for next week because now that my computer's set up and actually working well, I can actually try a bunch of stuff that I'm been excited about.
What's any games coming out this week?
Doom VFR. I'm picking that up on Friday for sure.
Oh
So I'll have
yeah.
that to talk about. I'm very excited for that.
Is that
Question is,
digital or is that on disc?
I think it's both. The question is, do I pick up the stupid that aim controller for it or not? We'll see what some of the previews talk about whether they've got
Your
that.
amp controller is like almost a must-have.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of picking it up for Doom.
Are you gonna buy digital or are you gonna buy physical?
Probably digital for that kind of game. VR
Yeah.
games, I just want it digital. I don't want the freaking CD.
That's crazy because then you gotta. What if you don't play it anymore? You flip it. Can't flip digital games, bud.
For now.
All
I
right.
don't think it's gonna be full price. I think it's like a $40 game or something.
Is that
We'll see.
cool? All right. We'll talk to you in a week.
See you guys later.